Hold on 1 minute. They just walked in. Excuse me, Dr. Quartermain telephone. Which one? He said either one.
Must be Father. I'll take it. Thank you, Bobbie. Hello?
Things are looking up, my boy.
You talked to Mother, I take it?
Yeah, I gave her that great big happy family routine to get the old blood pumping. Then I sicked her on to Grant and Celia. So far, all signs are go. They're thinking it over.
Well, when can we expect a definite answer?
Well, soon, I'd say. Right now, they're walking down there by the old boathouse. I can see them through the upstairs window. And they're holding hands.
What difference does that make?
Well, when Monica holds your hand, what does it mean?
We're crossing the street. She doesn't want me to get hit by a car.
Oh, come on, Alan. I'm serious. What does it usually mean when two people hold hands?
They like each other. They're close.
Yeah, close. On the same wavelength. An agreement. We already know that Celia wouldn't mind staying here, but Grant's the problem. But if they're holding hands, maybe the boy's relenting.
Father, let's face it, all this is supposition. I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see, aren't we?
Well, at least we have a chance now.
Fine, I'll tell Monica.
You do that. And tell her about the hand-holding. You may not know what it means, my boy, but I'm sure she will.
Oh, yes, Father. I'll explain the whole thing to her. It'll be...
Yeah, you do that. I'll call you later if I hear anything.
Okay, fine. Bye-bye. Thank you, Bobbie.
Would you mind telling me what that was all about?
Father observed Grant and Celia, and they were holding hands.
Oh. What? Oh, boy, shame on him.
He seems to think it means that they're going to be moving in with us.
Now, there's logic for you, isn't it?
He said you would understand.
Good. Well, what I would really like to understand and know for sure is that Lila is in our camp.
Well, she has already spoken to them, and the advance word is that they're buckling.
Buckling?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, spiffy. Why don't I buy you a cup of coffee and we'll celebrate, okay?
What a good idea. I'm right behind
fine.
you. Bye-bye.
Hi, good morning, Rusty.
Good morning. Well, I thought it was lunch, not brunch. You're early.
Well, I'm here to see Mrs. Hardy.
Business?
You betcha.
Well, you're in luck. She's right behind you. Mrs. Hardy. Yes. Audrey Hardy, I'd like you to meet Mr. Rock. Oh, how do you do, Mr. Rock?
Mrs. Hardy, I was wondering if you'd have a moment that we could speak.
Oh, yes, of course. Might I ask what this is in reference to?
Oh, sure. I just bought the Greenwood building, and I understand that you and your society have been doing a great job to try to protect it.
That's right. We feel that its historical significance is sufficient to keep it from being demolished.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Really?
Oh, yeah, of course, from a financial point of view, tearing it down would be most advantageous. But like you, Mrs. Hardy, and your society, I believe in the beauty of history. I think too much is being torn down in this country. You see, we've all emerged from the past. And unless we respect the past, I can't see any permanence in the future.
Well, that's very well put, Mr. Rock.
My problem is, though, what to do with it. Now, I cannot afford to keep it standing empty in its present dilapidated condition.
No, of course not.
Now, something has to be done with it.
Well, we had thought about guided tours with society.
That's an excellent idea, but not very profitable. Now, I have something else in mind. You see, a restaurant. Decorated and designed exactly the way it was in its original condition and its original marvelous quality to it.
Mr. Brock, do you think that's possible?
It's possible, it's profitable, and I think it's the answer to my problems.
Well, I think that's a marvelous idea.
Then you'd be willing to help?
Well, I certainly will if I can.
Well, that's wonderful. What we need are photographs and blueprints of the place when it was in its original condition. Would your society have something like that?
Well, we have our own archives. I can certainly check. As a matter of fact, I remember hearing just recently that the building used to be a restaurant and a gambling house.
A gambling house? You don't say.
Yeah, it was quite wild in its day.
Well, then we're going to do our best to bring it back to life. That is wonderful, and that is providing you're going to help.
Well, I would be honored, Mr. Brock. Believe me.
Wonderful.
This is very exciting.
Sure.
Well, I would have followed her if I got stopped by Baldy McBride.
You lost her, in other words.
Well, she was gone by the time I got out of here. I checked everywhere. Rose, what is going on with this girl?
I wish I knew.
Yeah, well, I'll check the dorm and the cafeteria and stuff, okay? I'll check the library. She's got to be somewhere around here.
Okay, in the meantime, I'll keep making... Never mind. She just came in.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's with Jake. I'll call you back.
Don't bother. I'm on my way down there.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Where have you been?
Jake,
You know how much you worried, Rose? I had to look all over the waterfront for you.
I just took a walk.
Why didn't you tell anybody?
Didn't think I had to.
It's called common courtesy, young lady. You live with Rose now, you're responsible to her. You have to tell her where you're going when you leave.
I'm sorry, I didn't know I was living in a prison.
You're not, Lou. We were just concerned.
What's wrong? You couldn't handle the morning rush by yourself? Face it, Rose, the only reason you brought me here was so you could have some cheap slave labor.
That's not true.
Hey, am I complaining? You got me out of the shelter, didn't you? If you want me to be a slave, I guess I'll just do just that. Excuse me, Jake, while I go behind the stove.
Guess I wasn't kidding when I said it wouldn't be easy.
I never expected anything else.
I wonder what a parent would do in this situation.
I don't know. I wish I did, but I don't know. I'm just going to give her some time to cool down, and then I'll talk to her.
Thank you for the lovely walk, darling. I'm going to go up and change.
No, don't. Come into the living room with me.
Grant, really?
Please.
All right.
You know how I felt out there? Like it was England again. When we first fell in love.
It really was love, wasn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it wasn't puppy love like when we were kids. I've never felt like this before, Grant.
This is real, and that was storybook.
Yes. But I confused them. Somehow I began to doubt everything. And then, when we were at the hospital with Christopher, then I realized that I had to stop flitting around. I grew up in there, Grant. Not a lot, but enough to realize what I want.
Celia, you don't have to give me a long...
No. I know. I want to. I have to. Grant, you are a wonderful, precious human being, and I am such a fool to have risked losing you.
I was never really that mad.
Well, you should have been.
Maybe.
I was so scared, Grant. The thought of losing you, I couldn't even think of it. Grant, don't ever doubt it. I am in love with you, and I always will be.
As soon as I'm finished with this, I'll start with the dishes.
You don't have to do this, Lou.
Of course I do. The lunch crowd will be here any second.
I meant you don't have to put on this act for me.
Of course I do. Or else you and Jake will send me back to that prison.
No one's sending you anywhere.
Okay, I am not a perfect person. I'm sorry I didn't tell you where I went. I just had to get away for a while, all right? I'm back in the chains now, okay? So you can relax.
Lou, you're not a slave. You get paid for what you do. Now, you may not like the work, but if you want the money, you have to do it.
Well, what good is money if I can't go anywhere?
Where do you want to go?
I don't know.
Well, where did you want to go today?
I said I don't know, just away.
Back home?
No, I ran away from there.
Please don't run away from this home, Lou.
Well, it'll just be taken away from me.
How do you know that's going to happen?
Because it just always happens, that's all.
I used to think that, too, once.
Oh, and then you met your wonderful Patty, and everything came up roses for roses. Well, I'm not that lucky. I can't find an old man to get married to me.
Patty was a good man. You never even knew him.
And that's why you never got married again? Because Patty was so perfect? Well, I really don't think so. I bet he was just like anybody else, looking for something better whenever he had the chance.
You never knew him. You don't have a right to say those things about him.
Of course I know him. He's the same, just like anybody else. Your Patty isn't so sacred.
Lou, I can understand why you're so bitter. I just don't understand why you're so cruel.
Just don't understand.
I want to.
Well, you can't.
Please, Lou, at least let me try.
No, Rose.
Oh, there you are, dear. Lunch is ready.
Lunch?
Yes, dear. Are Celia and Grant back from their walk?
They're in there.
Oh, I'll just see if they want a drink.
No.
Well, why not?
Well, I don't think they want to be disturbed.
Oh, nonsense, dear. In the living room.
Shh. I'll show you.
Oh, look at them. How sweet. Don't they make a lovely couple?
Yeah, well, everybody looks better when they're asleep.
With one exception, dear. You.
Me?
Well, you have that funny little pout on your face, which makes you look very disagreeable.
Oh, how preposterous.
I'm sorry. We must have dozed off.
Caught napping, so to speak. We didn't mean to intrude, dear.
No, I'm glad you did. We've talked things over, and if the offer's still good, we'd like very much to take the East Wing for a while.
Oh, did you hear that, Lila?
Oh, good. You'll be living with us.
Tomorrow we can start working on the plans. You have carte blanche. You can decorate it any way you want.
That's very generous of you, Edward, but I insist on taking care of any of the arrangements.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that later, dear. In the meantime, lunch is ready, and I believe Stella has prepared a most delicious dessert.
Well, we appreciate the invitation, but I think that Celia and I will bow out. You understand, don't you, Lila?
Only too well.
Understand what?
Come along, dear. I'll explain it all to you in the dining room. You two have a beautiful afternoon.
Well, get it. I mean, still fix that dessert.
They are quite a pair.
Well, they've certainly endured, haven't they? Were you serious earlier when you talked about our children?
Oh, that's not something I would joke about, Grant.
I never really knew how you felt about it.
Right now, more than anything, it's what I want.
Yeah. Everything in good time, darling.
What are you doing taking that from her?
Lou?
Yeah, I heard everything.
Just hurts what she said.
Of course it hurts. That's why she said it. She's a street kid. She's going to fight you with everything she can.
Then maybe I don't know how to fight back.
Well, I'll tell you what it's going to take. It's going to take a strong hand. You got to fight her on her own ground, otherwise she's going to run over you every time.
Look at me, Jake. Do I honestly look like somebody who kid into shape like that?
Yes.
Well, I hate to shatter your illusion thing, because I can't.
You try.
Look, I know myself too well. If you can't do it with love, I can't do it.
Listen to yourself talk. You know how many times you said can't in the last 2 minutes?
I'm just telling you what my limitations are. Maybe you should just call the judge and have her taken away from me.
You know I'm not going to do that.
Well, something's got to be done. Obviously, you don't think I can take care of her, and maybe you're right. I can't. She's right. I'm just a pushover.
All right, none of that now. I'm sorry.
I really don't know what to do.
We'll get through it.
Young lady, how about some more coffee?
Yeah, sure, come on.
You stay here. I can pour coffee. You need a break.
Jake.
No, you just sit right here. Don't move a muscle. Coffee coming right up.
Where is she?
She's upstairs in the room, but she's pretty upset.
Well, I'm gonna go talk to her.
No, I think she needs to be left alone right now.
Yeah, well.
Blackie, don't
No, let him go. Maybe you can get through to her. You be all right?
Yeah, I just don't know how it happened. The thing she said about Patty just really cut through the bone.
My advice is next time, fight back. Even if you don't believe what you're saying, give her a taste of her own venom.
Man, bang on the door, she won't open it. She won't talk to me. What is going on around here?
Disagreement. And maybe a realization. Now, what we're all doing here isn't going to be as easy as we first thought it was going to be.
Well, whatever the case, I have a restaurant to run. Excuse me?
Hey, this is a coincidence. How are you, chums?
Oh, what do you know? I'm on a miracle. I didn't think you ever stopped working.
Well, everybody's got to take a break every now and then.
Hey, Bobbie, how you doing?
Fine, thank you. Hello, Heather.
Hi, Bobbie. You look very nice. Is that a new dress?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, how did you know?
Just a special occasion, special dress.
Your table's ready, Mr. Baldwin.
Well, thank you very much. You two have a nice lunch.
Thanks, we will. Interesting couple.
That's an interesting way of putting it. This way, please. Thank you.
So, tell me, you know your way around this town. If I'm going to have the best restaurant in all of Port Charles, where am I going to find the right person to run it for me?
What qualifications are you looking for?
Well, he's got to be smart, got to have a name, recognition, experience, and that little something special.
Charisma.
More like pizzazz, the kind of energy that, I don't know, makes people sit up and listen. Well, what are you smiling at?
I suppose charm is a must.
Oh, definitely.
Class?
Oh, yeah, but a real good business mind on top of that. Someone that I could trust. Someone that's almost as good as me.
I only know one person on earth with those qualifications.
Oh, go on. You're kidding. Nobody's as good as that.
My brother is.
Your brother?
His name is Luke Spencer.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I was lecturing.
That's all right, Professor. We've got some startling news for you.
There's only one mole left from all of our 4 cities. And he's right here in Port Charles.
They're definitely after you, Professor. Or whatever it is that you're working on.
I see.
You all right?
To be quite frank, Mr. Scorpio, I'm scared to death. Have you no idea who the person is?
I'm afraid not. Well, at least, not as yet.
It is all on your shoulders now. You are to direct the Port Charles operation personally. No, you are definitely to keep your identity from the mole until otherwise notified. But you may be put into action all the cleverness and ingenuity you've displayed so far in the quest. We must have Gerald's secret research, and we must have it soon.